Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Our Wives Are Friends with your hosts, Tyler and Eric. We hope you enjoy the show.
This episode is brought to you by nobody because we still don't have any sponsors.
Welcome back, Eric.
Well, welcome back, Tyler. Glad to be back.
I know, it's been a minute.
Yeah.
I feel like we do these sessions where we'll record a bunch of episodes within, a weekend.
Yep.
And then we'll go a month or two without recording. So every time we see each other, it's like, hey, I haven't seen you in a while.
Got to warm up the pipes again. Got to get some liquid flowing.
Get some of that liquid courage or what?
Yeah, speaking to our millions of listeners out there.
Yeah, minus a million.
minus 999,000. Probably actually more than that.
Yeah, dude. So how you been?
I've been really good. Yeah, I've been good. I've been staying busy. A lot of the same old stuff, work, family, that sort of thing. But what about you? I heard there's some exciting news. You want to share with everyone?
Yeah, we bought a house, so we went through that process and got lucky for sure. There was a lot of cash offers that kept beating us out, and the house that we ended up getting kind of just worked out, and it fell in our laps, and they accepted our offer, and
yeah,
it's been great.
How long did that process take? And from kind of when you guys started putting offers in to closing on your house?
So that would have been, well, we ended up closing the 3rd of February.
Yeah.
Which was a week early. It was supposed to close the 10th.
Okay.
But the house was on the market for 3 days, and they accepted it.
Oh.
I think it was 3 days. It might have been sooner.
Yeah.
I think the end of, the beginning of January. It was a 30-day escrow, and we closed a week early, so it was 23 days.
Okay. But what about when you guys started kind of looking or, putting in offers on other houses?
So I don't know, 6-8 months.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we kind of we're fuck it. Let's chill out. Nothing's kind of falling our way, but maybe there's a reason,
Yeah.
So, I mean, it ended up working out, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I have a feeling everything kind of ends up working out how it should, and we went through the process, a few years ago too, and I think it was about 5 months or so when we first started looking at houses and putting in offers. I mean, not 5 months ago, but it was a 5-month process. We had a couple where our offer actually got accepted on a house, but it was contingent on them finding a new house, and so they had 30 days to find a house. They didn't find a house, so then we were back at square one after kind of wasting a month.
There's a lot that goes into it that you're almost paranoid the whole time because what if this happens? They do the inspections.
Yeah.
You have termite, all that stuff.
Right.
Too, and the appraiser.
The appraisal.
And everything. And they're okay, well, what if something happens? And then you're screwed because there's a certain point during escrow that you're because we were renting.
Yeah.
So we're okay, we had to put in our 30-day notice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you're almost at a point where if it falls through at the end,
yeah,
you're fucked.
Yeah.
Because it's okay, where am I going to live now?
Yeah, because you put your 30-day notice in, and then on the other side, you don't want to do it too early, too late, and then you have to pay another 30 days, after you've already moved out or something.
Yeah, because you can do an extension, but it's a one-time extension.
Yeah.
For an additional 30 days or something. You're
yeah, I'm sure you were pretty stressed out during that period.
We definitely were.
Probably the whole period too, because then after it closes, then you have to start the moving process and the cleaning process in both places. And
yeah, so we were we started, packing stuff up here and there. I'm adjusting my mic. So we had all these boxes in the garage, and we started kind of early,
yeah.
But either way, we were just packing away stuff that we didn't immediately need.
Right.
They weren't necessities. So even if we like that offer fell through or something, we still just had a bunch of stuff already packed.
Yeah.
Because it's not like that shirt from 10 years ago that I haven't even worn once. That's been in my closet. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to need it within that during that time frame anyway. So
Yeah. I definitely have a bunch of those shirts where I'm like, I haven't worn this in 10 years, but I'm going to lose the weight this year and I'm going to fit back in it because I like that shirt.
Yeah, dude.
But I felt like when I was moving too, no matter how much I tried to get ahead and get things done and get myself lined up for the easiest move possible, I mean, just everything still came down to the wire, and I was still cleaning, staying at the other place and cleaning it and wanting to make it, when I was renting a place too. So I was like, I wanted to make it a nice condition, for someone else to come into.
I mean, all the way down to like just having all the paperwork signed and all the necessary things that escrow needs and the title company need. Like, you know what I mean? Like the title company and then the mortgage company and all that stuff. Dude, they'll call you and be like, "Why'd you buy a hamburger last Tuesday?" You're like, "Because I was hungry." Like, you shouldn't be spending money. And you're like, you have to like justify every single purchase.
Oh yeah.
I mean, down to my daughter's preschool. They were like, "Hey, what's this recurring charge?" And I'm like, "That's preschool."
Yeah.
They're like, "Okay, well, I need you to sign something saying that that's preschool."
Did
You're
they?
like, what?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Like they go through your finances and
oh yeah,
they want to make sure like everything's kosher. I guess you know what I mean.
My weird thing I had was they asked me about every address like I've ever lived at in my life.
Yeah, I had that too.
So they're like, "Yeah, what's your relationship with that address?" So I'd be like, "Oh, that's my parents' house."
Yeah, same. They're like, "Oh, what's up with this one?" And I told them it's a funny story that because my phone number with all my family comes chronologically first. Whenever a telemarketer or whatever pulls up about like that house to like make an offer, because how many people are like, "Hey, we want to buy your house," or "We want to sell solar," like you get all those calls.
Yeah.
I'm the number they call for my parents' house. So on their books, because it's chronologically first, so they go and they go, "Oh, that's a man's name. That must be the guy who owns the house." They don't actually like look at the house and go, "Oh, it's this guy that owns it."
Yeah.
But so I get all those phone calls. I go, "Yeah, that's my dad. My dad owns that house. That's not my house." So they ask me the same thing. "Hey, what's your relationship with this house?" Because it looks like here that I'm like, "I don't own that house."
Yeah.
I tried to explain the story, and they're like, "Oh, okay, that makes sense." I was like, "That's my parents' house."
Well, they'd be like, "Yeah, I'm showing on your record you lived in this house for 3 years." I'm like, "Yeah, I was like 7 years old. I had no choice." I mean, that's what do you want me to say? Like, I don't know. Some of the questions just seem a little off, but I mean, I get it. They have to do their due diligence because they've probably seen every kind of scam in the book, and so unfortunately, that just kind of punishes everyone else and it goes a little above,
especially when you get like gift money. Like
Yeah.
we didn't end up. It was kind of weird how it worked. So, Danielle wasn't on the loan because it only hurt us.
Right.
So like she's later on, like she goes down and puts her name on the title and stuff later.
We did the same thing.
Right. But we had a lot of money that we've been saving in her savings.
Right.
Because we have separate savings, like same checking, but separate savings. So it's like I have my money, she has some of hers.
Yeah.
Right? And I can't touch hers and she's not going to touch hers. So she put we've been putting all of our savings, like our house money into her savings. So I can't touch it and go, "Hey, I want this," and go down and spend money. Right.
Right.
So because she's not on the loan, we had to do a gift. Right. But it was kind of weird because like it's the same, you know what I mean? It's not like I'm taking money from, grandparents or whatever, but yeah, sometimes like we're talking to the mortgage company and they were saying how like they'll get people in here where they're like gifting $100,000, and you're like, "What?"
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that happens all the time. I'm like, who just has $100,000 laying around going, "Yeah, I'm gonna help my son buy a house, $100,000 as a down payment." You're like, I wish.
Yeah, I'm sure they've seen pretty much everything. they have to work through a lot of different scenarios. I also feel for the realtors sometimes.
Well, you got to think of it too is like drug money, right? And all
Yeah,
that stuff. Like you can't just you have to prove that you made that money,
yeah,
and that's where all that due diligence comes from is
yeah,
being able to prove it and show that traceability.
yeah. I actually, my line of work is I do a lot of agricultural finance, and a lot of times we'll have to, if they're buying a property or something, I'll have to really. It can't just say, oh, their money's going to fall out of the sky. I have to have some kind of trace on where the money's coming from, whether it's from them or if it's coming from their business or something.
Do people use like a lot of collateral?
Yeah. I mean,
What's
it
like the
depends.
craziest thing? There's got to be something out there like the craziest thing that someone used for collateral.
Well, we only accept like mostly like I mean, it just depends, but like if you're purchasing land, the land's going to be your collateral.
Mm,
You can't just put like I don't know, say your car or something because it wouldn't support the
right.
the purchase really.
Gotcha. Well, I didn't know if
So
like someone's like, yeah, I got an island off the coast of, like I want to use that as collateral.
no, but I have worked on like a lot of like celebrity stuff has come my way a little bit. I mean, not like a ton of it, but every now and then I'll be like a guy from a random band or something's buying some kind of property like this, and I'll be like, okay, this is kind of cool. Then I get the weird phone calls too. Like this lady wanted some money to fix up her property because she said like her donkeys kept eating her fence.
For donkeys?
Yeah, she's like, yeah, my donkeys keep eating up my fence, so I need to put a new fence up.
Well,
And you get calls like that, just some kind of like llama farms and stuff like that.
I want a llama farm.
But going back to the house thing, you feel for the realtors a little bit too because the realtors are working and they're trying to make this deal happen, and they'll get some clients that they're like in the middle of trying to close a loan and they'll go and buy like a new RV.
Yeah,
And they're like, what are you
everything
thinking?
falls through.
Yeah, like what are you thinking?
Or even it's as simple as even like being in the process, you're like, oh, I have a house and I have an offer, it's in escrow, and they say people go down and buy furniture.
Yeah,
Spend $5,000 on furniture, and it's like, what the fuck? You're everything just fall through now because you just spent $5,000 on furniture. Wait
Yeah.
until after it closes. Once you give them the money for the closing,
yeah,
go buy whatever the fuck you want.
yeah.
Like I'd cut the check for closing, and we went down same day and just started buying a bunch of stuff for the house.
Yeah. It's just common sense, but it's like it's not that. Usually, most of them are like a 30-day escrow. It's usually 30, 60 days.
Mm-hmm.
It's really not that long to wait to do whatever you
No.
need to do. Just do it, and then whatever you're
Yeah,
going to do.
and like I
after
said,
closing.
ours closed a week early, so 7 days early. So that's 23-day escrow.
Yeah,
And it was literally, I'm signing documents that morning. I had to take a day off for work,
yeah,
And so like 8 a.m. I'm signing documents, and this is on the 3rd, and the everybody's there, the notary and everything, and I'm signing, 1,000 fucking times,
yeah,
and they decided to include my middle name initial
yeah.
and everything. So then I had to change my signature to include that middle name, which I've never used.
That's interesting.
Ever?
Yeah,
Right. So all those documents have a J on them. So and I've never signed Tyler J. And so now I'm having to do Tyler J. Everything.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is ridiculous.
that and there's so many documents, and like they'll hand you like a 10-page document, and you'll be like, yeah, this is just this.
So they're
Just,
like, okay, so we signed everything. We're like, okay, cool. And there was like one document that Danielle had to sign, and I had to sign 1,000.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then we go, like, we're like leaving, and like, okay, well, we're gonna send it over to the underwriter. They're gonna finish the approval of the loan, and it's gonna get sent over to the clerk or whatever who does it, and then it'll close. And so they're like, okay, probably like 3-4 o'clock today. They're like, okay, cool. So I get a phone call at like 11 going, hey, I need you to come back down. We were processing and looking through, and there's one document that we need to re-sign because we forgot to update the homeowner's insurance. What they did is they entered it as the quote. They didn't enter the actual what came back from the homeowners.
yeah,
So they're like, we had to update it, and we need you to come back down and sign it. So I'm like, fuck, dude. Like now, what's it gonna be like 6-7 o'clock by the time we get this?
yeah,
So I run back down real quick, sign that one document. They're like, okay, cool, thanks. Well, you should hear back, by by this time or whatever. Get back to the apartment. We finished, like, we're still boxing stuff up. 30 minutes later, we get a phone call from the realtor saying, "Hey, it just closed. Meet me at the new house. I got the keys." And I'm like, I literally just got home. I literally just got back to the apartment, and they said it was going to be like later in the day.
Yeah.
Like, sweet. All right. So we just, like, I hopped in the car, went and picked up, my daughter from preschool and flew over to the new house.
And that's it.
That was it.
Wow. What about since you guys have been in? Have you had a lot of home improvement projects?
Not really.
Yeah.
A lot of it was already, like, move-in ready.
Right.
So
yeah.
A lot of things were, like, redone or taken care of. There's a few things, like a leak on one of the bathtubs.
Yeah.
Had a leak in the faucet, so I was able to fix that. Pull the cartridge out of everything, just do like little stuff like that.
Yeah, like little minor things.
No, I don't really think there's been a home improvement, like a big thing.
Yeah.
It's just been like little stuff.
Yeah, that's mostly stuff that comes up just like, later on too, is just like after you guys have been there for a while, like things that, just little wear and tear stuff that, you have to replace eventually. Just
like
part of the
I have stuff on my list,
Yeah.
because I took the list from the inspector.
Yeah.
And he's like little things, And
Yeah.
so I got all that, but it's nothing like detrimental.
Right.
It's like weekend warrior stuff that I can
take
care of at my leisure.
Yeah.
One thing that is different too is, like, now I came to the realization, I'm like, I thought about it, but you don't realize it until, like, you're already in that situation. You're like, I have a lawn now.
Yeah.
I have to get a gardener. And I'm like, I don't want to pay for a gardener.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't have a whole lot of lawn.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe if I had like a huge backyard and a huge front yard, then okay, I'll probably pay for a gardener.
Right.
But it's not a whole lot, so I was like, okay, so let me look into some lawnmowers and things. Cause we came from an apartment, so I don't got a lawnmower.
Yeah, exactly.
Or a weed eater or a blower or whatever. So start looking, and then I came to the realization, I was like, fuck, we live in California. They just banned the sale of gas motors.
Oh, no way, yeah.
So every freaking lawnmower, you go to Home Depot, Lowe's, whatever, it's all electric. Well, maybe I'll like buy a used gas one.
I guess I didn't realize that they had banned that on kind of equipment already. I knew it was kind of coming down.
California, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
California.
So I start looking, I do some research, and I start asking people, like, how do you feel about this? And I don't like it, right? It's just kind of weird.
Yeah.
I'd rather have like work on it. Once the battery dies, like, then I have to buy a new battery.
Yeah.
Or whatever, I don't know. It's just kind of, and then it's probably outdated. New model.
Yeah.
By the time they probably won't even sell that battery.
How just like ballpark figure? I know it probably varies, but what's kind of the price range going on those?
So I bought like a $500 one.
Okay.
But they range from to probably like as expensive as you want to get.
Right. Yeah.
Even the riding mowers now,
Yeah.
electric, which is weird.
Yeah.
But I got it's a 40 volt though, so the battery's like bigger than my head. Clicks in, and it powers up like it sounds like a gas. It's weird. It's like, but it's just the like the internal fan.
Yeah.
And then the blade spinning.
Yeah, I guess whatever gets the job, as long as it gets the job.
Like, I understand the weed whacker. Like, I was like, okay, like, weed whacker. I was going to buy an electric weed whacker anyway, because, I mean, that makes more sense to me.
Yeah, yeah.
Electric one.
Yeah.
So I got an electric weed whacker. And, I mean, it works really good. I'm like, buzzing everything and
yeah,
and track. It's like one of those that you flip it and then now it's an edger.
Right.
And then ended up getting a blower. But funny thing is, I had like a small one that like a plug-in blower. Dude, I was looking like an idiot just like walking around. I had it like plugged in with an extension cord, and I'm just walking around with this blower that's like it's like fucking 12 inches long, and I'm just like barely hitting it. Like it's I kept like every time a neighbor would drive by, I'd put my hat down, and be like, can't see my face. But so I ended up going and getting a Ryobi, to match everything. So I ended up getting like Ryobi everything.
Yeah.
So it takes the same battery as the Weed Eater, so it's like interchangeable. So, but it's like blows like 110 miles an hour.
That's some pretty good blow power.
Yeah, I'll show you later. I'll show you later how well it blows.
Like, what else are you using that thing for?
Well, if it was sucking, it'd be a little different.
Oh
no, and yeah, I mean it's cool. Like I mowed the lawn.
Yeah.
And it did what it was supposed to do.
Yeah.
It mowed the lawn.
I mean, that's what it's all at the end of the day, whether it's gas, electric. And
then
it gets the job done.
I dumped the bag and I put it all away. The nice thing though, because doesn't have any liquid in it.
Yeah.
It's like the lawnmower folds up. I can fold it and just like put it off in the corner.
Well, that is convenient
against the wall because I can put it on its side. It doesn't have to be laying out.
Yeah.
Like a gas would, because then you can't flip it because oil and gas will start going everywhere.
Exactly. Yeah.
So this one, it like folds up and it's just like you stand it up.
Yeah, I used to have one of those gas front thrower ones, and I love it. Don't get me wrong, I really love it, but it would just like take up a ton of room in the garage. It's really heavy to move every time I need to lift it or something.
Yeah, but also the benefit of that is that you can work on that.
Yeah, that's true.
Like the parts to replace it is literally just engine parts.
Yeah,
so those are always going to be available.
Yeah, no, that's true. It was good. I ended up getting rid of it though a while ago. I think I had got it used, and it was just kind of at the end of its life. I'm somewhat handy and mechanical, but not like I'm not that guy.
You're not that mechanically inclined.
I'm not. I can do things. It just takes me a while to do them. I get the job done eventually, but I'm not out here to claim I'm like a really, really handy person. I'm like, I get the job done, but I'm not like the expert.
So when I went to buy the blower, because I caught like on sale, I was like, oh sweet, it's like perfect timing. It's a little bit on sale, so I was like, okay, I went down and got it. And while I was there, I was like, maybe I need a shop vac too. Like that's always good to have, a shop vac.
Yeah.
So I started like price matching some like different brands, and so I ended up going to Home Depot for the blower, and then I drove to Lowe's for the shop vac because they had a Craftsman that was like on sale and a really good price, and I was like, okay, cool. So I get that, and I like take it back, and kind of glad I did, because literally this weekend we had like torrential downpours.
Yeah.
And it's the first time, like really, it's been like, it's rained, but not like torrential flooding rain. So trying to figure out like all the low spots in the backyard and stuff. It started like, water started, and not enough where it's gonna come in the house or anything, but
right.
I like didn't want it to, just in case. So I'm out there like this morning with the shop vac, just sucking up all the water, and I probably did like, it's a 5-gallon bucket.
Yeah.
That it comes with, you know what I mean? It's a 5-gallon shop vac, and I probably did it like 10 times.
Yeah.
It's like 50 gallons of water.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it doesn't rain much here, and it's been like torrential downfall. Like, I think it rained for like 12 hours straight nonstop.
Yeah, dude.
So when those things happen, you start kind of getting some flooding going, and like you said, it probably wouldn't affect your house, but you want to take the chance of what if.
But yeah, man, so I'm out there like sucking up everything with the shop vac, and it was kind of like, hey, that was a good purchase. Sometimes you have to justify like, I don't really need one, but it'd be cool. Like I want one.
Yeah.
But this turned out like it worked out. Actually needed to use it.
Yeah.
I don't know how I would have sucked up water without a shop vac.
Yeah.
Those are wet and dry.
So you got a blower and a sucker.
Blower and a sucker. And if I put the hose on the other side, it blows too. We didn't have too much flooding at our house, but we did have just like these tumbleweeds all blew into our cul-de-sac. Like, I mean, I'm not talking little tumbleweeds. Like, I'm talking like gigantic ones. And I'm like, what the hell am I supposed to do with this? Like big enough you could have like slapped a saddle on it and just rode it through the neighborhood?
Oh yeah, like huge. And like maybe one of these might fit in my green waste trash. Maybe one. One probably wouldn't fit.
Like an old Wile E. Coyote cartoon, dude, where there's always that like tumbleweed blowing, or an old Western. Like there's always like one tumbleweed blowing across.
Right?
No, they come in herds. Those are herds of tumbleweed when the wind's going.
So we have a ton in our cul-de-sac right now, and I was talking to my neighbor, and I was like, what do we do with these? Like, I don't think anyone's going to come and pick them up. I was like, we have a field on the other side of our wall. It's like a farm field.
Yeah.
So I'm like, do we just throw it over there, or do we? I don't know. Do we try to dispose of them ourselves, like sit here and cut them all up and
Oh, hell
make it
no,
like a
man.
couple week process with all the neighbors, or
Here's what you do. You just leave it for the next person to come along and get frustrated, and then they do it.
yeah.
Wasn't that? I
Just
mean,
don't look over in that direction. Yeah.
Yeah,
just-
I mean, it was in the end of the cul-de-sac, right?
Yeah.
Against the wall.
yeah.
Not-
But I
it's
do
not-
have some in my yard and stuff like
Oh,
that.
you just
too.
kick them.
Those are smaller ones.
You
so-
roll those ones in the middle of the street and let the wind catch them
Yeah.
back to the wall, and then they're out of your hair. They're not on your property.
Yeah.
Problem solved, man.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Or what you do, you build a ramp. Okay, you take the wall, you build a wooden ramp like that, and then you drag all the tumbleweeds back down the street, and then you let them go again while the wind's still going, and you just hit the ramp, and then they shoot over the wall. Come on, man. Where's your neighborhood engineering at?
Yeah, I gotta get creative.
Got the tumbleweed ramp. Hey, Bill, it's windy. Get the tumbleweed ramp out.
Yeah.
some middle-aged dude
We're, like,
dragging a
wheeling
wooden
it out,
ramp,
yeah.
wheeling out a ramp to attach to your wall, your brick wall. It's ready.
Honestly, after this last, wind gust, I think we might need something like that. It's not a few; it's like a ton of them. I'm like, what the hell am I
Did you
supposed
take
to do
any
with all
pictures?
this? No, I didn't, but I can send you a picture later.
They're still there?
Yeah, they're still there.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. So you're taking my advice.
yeah.
Don't do
just-
anything.
Leave it for the next man.
Leave it for the next guy, dude. Come on.
But I have been pulling a lot of weeds out. We've been getting a lot of rain this year, and so, when the rain stopped, obviously a bunch of weeds come up too. So I just feel like I'll sit there and I'm ripping them out, because if you get them by the roots and they don't grow back or as fast, but I just feel like I can't. I'll sit there for like 2 hours a day and rip out weeds, and then a couple days later, it's like the whole area is populated again.
Gotta get some
Roundup.
Roundup, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, with all the lawsuits,
It's like, yeah, I'll just I'll give myself cancer, but I won't see any weeds.
I
in my
won't have
yard.
any. I mean, you're gonna get cancer from something else, right?
Right? Might as well be from Roundup.
Might as well. That's what I do too, because I got
Roundup, we're
bunch
looking
of
for
weeds
sponsors.
too. Hey, Roundup, we're looking for sponsors.
I think it's. I don't think you can get Roundup anymore in California.
You definitely can.
You can or can't
You can, yeah,
from like a store,
yeah.
or is it like a black market thing?
No, they sell that at Lowe's. And
For
Home
some reason, I
Depot.
thought it was.
No, here's the
I
thing:
thought it was blacklisted.
is now they just put the warning, right?
Oh yeah.
Problem solved, man. You put the warning right there. May cause cancer.
And
Problem solved.
have you noticed, like, any office building you go into, every single office
Yeah, the
building
Prop
says,
65 warning.
yeah, it says, there's chemicals in this office known to cause cancer. And it's like, what the hell?
Yeah, but that's
Anywhere
anything.
you go.
That could be. I mean, that wooden chair, the lacquer on it. Somebody might have got cancer at one point.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah. All food places, most drinks and stuff have those all labeled.
Yep.
So
That's
the
the
point
get
is everything's going to cause cancer.
That's
So
the-
get the Roundup.
That's the get out of jail free card. Is
Put
if
the
you just
Roundup down.
Put it on everything, right? Say everything causes cancer. Put the warning right there. This is what you're getting yourself into. It's like signing. It's like accepting liability.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's bullshit.
Yeah. Well, you can get sued for anything these days. So I understand the need.
So while moving, I know it probably was the same for you guys, but you guys didn't live together for an extended period of time.
Right. Before we
before.
didn't live together before we moved in.
Exactly.
We had like a kind of unique situation, but we weren't living together full time.
So we were living in the apartment for, 3 years
Right.
or whatever, and we accumulated things. And so we pack everything up, and the boxes just keep piling. And we're just like, how do we have this much stuff?
Yeah. Or where do we get this thing?
How did we fit all this stuff in our apartment?
Yeah.
So now that we have it at the new house, which is obviously bigger,
Right.
we're going through stuff, and we're like, why do we have so much junk? How did we fit all of this? Like, we could barely fit it in this house.
Yeah.
How did we fit it into an apartment? Makes no sense. I know the apartment had a garage,
Right.
but how did we fit all that in there? Like, I know that we had, like, a lot of storage and stuff that we made and had bins and all kinds of stuff, but
Yeah.
crazy. Madness.
Yeah, I feel like you don't realize how much stuff you actually have until you go to move it.
Dude,
Then you're like, oh,
it's a lot. And I still have, like, a garage full of stuff right now. Boxes that we haven't even opened yet
yeah.
because I'm scared.
Be like, I don't even remember what we put in here.
I figure if we just go long enough without needing to open that box, we don't need the box.
Yeah.
We don't need whatever's in it.
We had a few boxes like that when we moved in, and like the first few months, we were really on top of everything and getting everything. But there's obviously a few boxes we didn't get around to.
Yeah.
Like a year went by, I'm like, this is from the move, and we haven't opened it, so we just get rid of whatever's inside, and pretty much that's what we did. I mean, usually we have kind of a rule, like if we haven't used something in like a year, it's like whatever it is, we don't care. If we haven't used it in a year, we don't need it probably.
And then it's like little things too, like going from renting to owning is the rental company paid for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if something broke,
Right.
like, okay, yeah, we'll send somebody else to fix it. Now it's on fucking us.
Yeah. Like-
It's like, okay, I guess I have to replace that. And everything, nothing's cheap. Everything's like, oh, that'll be $2,000.
Yeah.
That's going to be $1,000. That's going to be $5,000. And you're like,
Hey, unless you go to Craigslist and get some offers from there, like our buddy Skylar did.
yeah, everyone knows Skylar, right? You really? You're going to like pick that?
Oh, I won't throw him under the bus, Skylar. We love you, but
So, yeah, that's a story for another episode, I think.
we'll let Skylar tell his story when he comes in next.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually write that down so I don't forget.
But yeah, things they add up, and little projects that you want to do too. Like I don't know, when we moved into our house, it was actually new construction, so we just had dirt for like a backyard and everything. So we had to do all the dirt all the trenching and the irrigation.
Yeah, you had to landscape.
Landscaping.
All
and
the
stuff.
landscaping had to
Yeah.
be done because you guys built your house, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, they don't landscape the backyard or anything.
Right,
So it's
exactly.
Like they hand you a dirt lot in the back, and you just say, okay, have fun.
Yep.
So that's true. You have to dig out and put all the irrigation for all the sprinklers.
Yeah.
Get grass.
Yeah.
That's why like most people that get like built homes, like it just stays dirt for a long time.
Yeah, a lot of people that happens to. Even like our first year in, we just we spent a lot of our money, getting the house, and so we had to wait like a year to do the backyard. And so a year later, we did the backyard. But during that whole year, our back patio was always really dusty and dirty,
Mhm.
and our furniture out there got dirty quite a bit. I mean, it's getting better now, but I don't know.
Yeah,
It's a little bit of a period
now
until
you
you
got
got it
grass back
landscaped.
there.
Yeah.
You don't have all the dirt just whipping around when it's tumbleweeds are blowing on the grass, not the dirt now.
Yeah, exactly.
No, that's cool though. So yeah, our backyard's already landscaped, which is nice.
Yeah.
Not huge, but it's just I don't have to maintain it as much.
Yeah.
It's not big. There's some of the houses we were looking at were like half an acre backyard,
Yeah.
stuff like that, and we're like, oh, that'd be really cool. But then
It sounds great until you have to go and start taking care of it.
until I have to go buy the riding mower or buy some goats or something just to maintain the foliage.
I always thought it'd be funny if someone just bought a riding mower and just had like a little patch of grass in the front yard.
Yeah, just
You
like
know?
we just do a circle.
But they just, they're just sitting there doing donuts.
You're just doing donuts. That's all. Just like a little patch of grass you got a riding mower for. And some people, like, especially when you don't think about too, is like trees. Some people, I mean, well-established houses have these big ass fucking trees
Yeah.
in the front yard or backyard or whatever. And that's all cool, but you have to maintain those. And for someone to come out and trim those trees to go like all the way up, like that's a couple grand
Yeah.
that you're spending every year.
Yeah.
So like trees are cool. I like trees, but not enough for a big ass one in my front yard.
Right.
Something like, luckily the house that we got, it's got trees planted,
Yeah.
and they're still very juvenile trees.
Yeah.
So there's some that were like, I wonder if we should dig these out and sell them to people that actually want trees. You'll see. You haven't even been over there yet.
Yeah. I'm getting a grand tour after we're done
Yeah,
recording.
after we get done recording, we'll go over there. But yeah.
Yeah, but it sounds like a bad thing, but it's really not though. Like when you have all, I mean, it's the bad thing is you have to pay for everything, but it's also like I feel like I like doing that kind of stuff, kind of taking some kind of sense of pride in my house and like, fixing things up that I can. And
Yeah, it's yours, right?
Yeah.
You're not handing and paying someone else's mortgage. You're paying yourself, right? Because that money in return that you keep putting into a mortgage is ultimately claiming back to you.
Yeah.
Right? So you're just paying yourself. It's a nice way to think about it.
Yeah.
You're not paying you're paying the mortgage company, but that investment, really you're just paying yourself because you can pull from it, or when you sell the house, you have, that's the, you know what I mean? You'll make a profit usually.
Yeah. No, it's
As long as you maintain it and you don't destroy your house.
Yeah, it'll be pretty much for most people, it'll be like their largest asset, building wealth. And real estate markets always, they go up and down, but for the most part, over a long period of time, they'll just keep going up.
That's all they do, just
Yeah.
up and down. Now, owning a house so far is cool. Haven't had to pay the mortgage yet. That'll be interesting. But I mean, we're just saving money.
Yeah.
Taking this, because you get like 2 months. Taking those 2 months and just, I mean, we're using little stuff, but we're just banking most of that money.
Yeah. One thing we did get hit with was, because I think our land was previously farmland.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of like a supplemental tax bill?
Yeah.
And so because it was like open land before, then after, the property tax is different.
Right.
When you put a house on it, because you build a structure on it and something. So anyways, like, I don't know, I think 6 months or a year after we got our house, we got hit with like a pretty big supplemental tax bill, but it's like a one-time thing. It's really just like a prorates it to, I guess, like to consider like the value of your improvements now on that land.
That's weird.
Yeah.
It sounds like that's part of the payoff to the farmer that sold it.
No, well, it's more of just a payoff to the government, really. It's more of a it's a tax.
It's your land and you own it, but you have to pay us taxes still.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how it works, but I think it's because, say, if it's like 100 acres and there's a tax on that, but now then they subdivide it and then you put an improvement on that land. I don't know the ins and outs of it, but it sucked.
It just sounds like we're getting robbed.
Yeah,
We talk about
yeah. We could have a whole episode about how bad taxes suck.
taxation is theft, man.
Yeah, you get
All it
taxed
is,
on
man.
income, and then you get taxed on what you decide to do with your income that's already been taxed.
Dude, you get taxed on the taxes, and you get taxed on the money you make, you get taxed on the food you eat, you get taxed on the gas you put in your car.
Yeah.
You get taxed on the power that provides light into your home. Like, where the fuck does it end?
I'm pretty sure there's death tax.
Death tax, yeah. You die, you get taxed.
Whatever happened to the Boston Tea Party?
You're born, you get taxed. Like they threw that shit in the ocean for a tea tax, and we're just letting them tax our entire everything. What are we doing here?
Yeah,
let's throw. I don't know what I throw in, but
yeah, throw it in the ocean. Throw it all in the ocean.
Everybody's house, pick it up and throw it in the ocean. No,
Well, that's awesome though. I'm glad you guys were able to get out of the apartment and get a house, and I'm excited to go check it out later.
Yeah, it feels good. It was really good. I was glad. Sad to say bye to the apartment because there was a lot of memories made.
Right.
I mean, that's where we brought our daughter home, stuff like that, and it served its purpose, right? It provided what was necessary and what we needed at the time.
Yeah.
But now it was time we kind of grew out of it, and it was time to move on and build new memories somewhere else.
Yeah, no, that's great.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good. It's good. It was a crazy process.
Yeah, you're probably glad it's all done and over with.
But the stress never ends.
Yeah, then you just have new stresses.
New stresses. Like everything is what's going to break next. You know what I mean? Like I'm just sitting there watching the water come down this morning going, okay. I actually started last night, like midnight. I'm sitting there watching like the streets start to get flooded, the flower beds starting to overflow.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, okay, like this is cool.
We're good.
What do I do?
We're fine, right?
What if it starts spilling into the house?
It's funny too. I get like paranoid sometimes. I'll be like, it's the end of the night. All the kids are sleeping, and I finally go to bed around like 11 or 12. I'm like laying in bed and I hear something. I'm like, And just breaking the house? Is that a pipe or something? What is that noise?
Oh,
Or
so check this out. Speaking of, you're talking about that, is the previous owners left all their Ring security stuff hooked up,
oh, okay,
all the cameras, everything.
yeah,
So they removed it, from their name and their account.
yeah,
All I had to do was go around. There's backyard camera, the doorbell, a front walkway camera. Like I'll show you, but there's 4 cameras in total. All 3 of them have floodlights with motion sensors.
no, that's really good.
So it's already all hooked up.
Yeah,
That's
no,
all I
that's
had
great.
to do is go and use my phone and connect to all of them under our account, and it's already ready to go, hooked up.
So I don't know how it works. Is there a way you verify that they're not able to access those anymore?
You can't if they're so what it was. I took the doorbell off and stuff, and there's a QR code on the back,
Yeah,
and you go to your account and stuff on your app. You scan that QR code, and if it's connected to someone else, it'll tell you, "Hey, this is connected to so and so.
Oh,
Would
I
you
see.
like us to send them a request to remove from their service?"
yeah,
You say, "Yeah." So they have like 15 days to take their name off of, like, take that device off their account.
yeah.
And after the 15 days, if they don't do it, after the 15 days, it just like automatically wipes them. So, yeah, I mean,
No,
cool.
that's good. Yeah, I didn't know what the process was on that. We're
So
actually looking into home security systems right now, just to have.
I'll show you
some
when we
kinda-
get done recording. The Ring stuff is kind of cool. It's like $100 a year
Yeah,
to be able to save and record and save all the footage, which
yeah,
I think is kind of worth it because
Totally
then I can
worth it,
save
yeah.
the footage.
yeah.
Why would I want to just like look at something and be like, okay, well that's just happening. I can't do anything about it.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I'll show you when we get done. But yeah, we kind of lucked out that all that stuff was already hooked up. I didn't have to go up and install the floodlights and
Yeah, that saves you a
stuff.
few steps there. Anything that you could save, really helps during the process because it is a lot to go and get settled in, and I don't know.
yeah. And there's other things you do. Like you could do like security systems are cool. A lot of people do those, but then you have the service fee. Like it's a monthly charge, like 40 to plus dollars a month for it. It's like I don't know. That's just crazy to me.
Yeah.
I understand security, but I feel like I can do all the same stuff, but the service would be less because
Yeah.
like the ring has all the sensors I can put on all the windows and the doors, and they all connect to your app. So I can even monitor, hey, that window just opened. It'll give me a notification on my phone,
Okay.
or this glass is broke, or you can even deactivate it because I want to open that window.
Yeah. Wow.
You know what I mean?
That is really good. Yeah. I think it is important to have security. I think you can get a little too much. I don't know. You can end up paying. There's some of these things I've seen where I'm like, wow, that's a
Crazy expensive.
crazy expensive. I'm like, I do have a shotgun in my bed, like. Yeah, but it is important, especially these days. You never know.
You never know who's gonna try and knock on your door. Oh, and it came with a screen door already installed.
Oh, okay.
So we have a screen door plus
Yeah.
the front door.
Is it like a metal screen door?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
extra layer of protection.
It's a
really.
security door, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So that's already installed. I mean, it's pretty dope. Like there's a lot of stuff that we didn't have to do because almost all of it was already done.
Right.
Kind of benefited in our favor. Anyway, buy a house if you can.
Yeah.
Buy some property, do something. Stop
it.
renting. Stop putting money in other people's pockets.
Yeah.
I get if that's all you can do and fits your lifestyle. I'm not going to knock you for that, but I mean, it's been fun, and I'm glad we were able to get on here and record a little bit and talk some real talk.
Yeah.
I felt this was more like a real talk episode.
Yeah, definitely.
There was still some humor, but
Yeah. Every once in a while, we got to bring it back to earth a little bit.
yeah, man,
But-
it was good.
Those are just real life challenges that come up, and a lot of people deal with. So
I'm glad that we were able to get together and record a little bit,
yeah,
and hope everyone enjoys the show.
Yep.
Follow us on all our socials. If you have any crazy house stories, we want to hear them. Any processes that you went through, yeah, shoot them our way because I want to hear that kind of stuff because you always hear funny stories from realtors and them. So,
oh yeah. There's
If any-
probably stories out there.
yeah.
for
If
days.
anybody's got anything, just let us know at Twitter and Facebook and I guess TikTok and all that stuff. So, All right. Have a good day, everybody. Till next time.